Since I got interested in photography in the past 2 years, some of my Chinese friends have asked me to recommend cameras to them, but they don't really understand cameras, don't have basic photography knowledge, and they have no plans to learn the professional technical stuff. They just think that using a camera will automatically let them take great photos or videos. I think most people who have used the camera will understand that even though cameras have better optical quality, you need to have certain knowledge and be willing to deal with relatively complicated operations. So recommendation to these friends always ends up being just practice with your phone first. Although these friends have some interests in taking photos, since we are now in the age of social media for everyone, most of them also hope to have good video recording performance. If these friends are very rich, the recommend I give them always simple. Just choose the latest flagship phone from brands like Apple, Samsung, Vivo, Oppo, or Xiaomi at the highest price they are willing to pay. But there are also many friends who want to buy video shooting equipment at a very low price. They got a lot of information from the social media about the brand flagships or video log formats. They want that capability but won't buy the equipment in very low price. To be honest, have the log formats capability is indeed very good. Normally, phones have limited dynamic range compared to cameras, but the log video format allows a phone to get the largest possible dynamic range within its limited hardware. Also, log video usually lets you do more operations during color grading, and native 10-bit recording stores richer color information. However, if a device meets all these standards at the same time, whether it is a camera or a phone, it is usually not cheap. My friends usually cannot afford equipment at that level because of their budget, but they still want that capability. I used to be the same way, but during my own testing, I eventually found a relatively cheap phone. It was in like new second-hand condition and only cost around $200. And it is not only just a camera, it's also a good phone. It's the Poco X7 Pro. As a camera, it is probably the only phone at this price point that natively supports 4K 10-bit log recording. That's right, Xiaomi's log isn't just on flagship phones. It also exists on this kind of budget-friendly model. If don't use the Pro recording, just in auto mode, it also supports 4K 60 FPS. When I recommend this phone to some friends, they often show a surprised look. Isn't this just a budget gaming phone with a high performance to price ratio? And the related camera hardware is very ordinary. No telephoto lens and no large sensor. But they usually don't know that Xiaomi brought the log video feature down to this phone. Native support for 4K 10-bit log is really high spec for video recording. At the same time, this kind of performance-focused phone usually has a powerful processor, and again, this one supports 4K 10-bit log in natively, not other third-party apps simulated it in software computing. For photos, there are indeed some limitations. But for regular shooting, if you have some composition skills, you won't feel that's very bad. As a phone, at this price point, it has a Dimensity 8400 Ultra processor and UFS 4.0. For daily use, this performance is definitely not just enough, it's very rich. And a very large battery with a 68 billion color screen. Since I was quite interested in log recording at this price point before, I bought one on eBay to try out for a while and share some footage. Most of the video footage you have seen in this video were taken with this phone. Recently, because I wanted to try out new equipment, I sold it again, but my overall experience used it. Now I'm starting to get interested in the upcoming Redmi Note 16 Pro Plus later this year. Redmi's mid-range phones achieved a massive upgrade in camera systems and performance with the Note 13 Pro Plus. But with the Note 14 Pro Plus and Note 15 Pro Plus, the upgrades were extremely limited, and they even went backward in some areas, including some cutbacks on parts for the global version. I can even understand the cutbacks on lens and batteries, but while the Note 13 Pro Plus use fast UFS 3.1, the recent two generations, 14 and 50, actually went back to UFS 2.2. This seriously drags down the performance, and it's something most ordinary people won't notice when you look at the spec sheet. At the same time, even in China, because there are many high-performance models sold at a similar price point that are not sold globally, The phone market at this price level in China has become an extremely competitive environment. During these 2 years of insufficient upgrades for the Redmi Note Pro series, everyone's rating of this series has dropped sharply. Therefore, I think the upcoming Redmi Note 16 Pro series will likely achieve noticeable improvement.